Back when I first started learning false chord screaming, I'd run out of breath in 3 seconds. As a result, I couldn't scream more than a few lines without getting tired. Some coaches told me to do lung capacity exercises, saying that if I did that, I'd be able to hold out screams longer. I'd watched tutorials, and many people from there said push harder from your diaphragm. So I practiced all of that for years. But after 3 or 4 years with no progress, I wondered if my voice just wasn't meant for false chord screaming. But here's the truth, you don't have to suffer like I did. You can fix this problem not by improving lung capacity, training your diaphragm, or even pushing super hard. And when you do it right, you can hold a false chord scream for half a minute. I'm not gonna hold it out actually for half a minute, but you can kind of get the sense of what I'm able to do. And the best part is that this doesn't take years, it can be fixed in minutes. So let me explain the actual problem, then how to solve it. So imagine a rubber tire on your car with a big hole in it. What happens to the air? It falls out through that hole and the tire deflates. Now that's exactly what's happening when you run out of breath during false chord screaming. You're wide open. You have a big hole where all the air is falling out. I'm open. And this usually happens because people try to do a deep sigh method. Deep sigh. So the thing is, you can get your false chords to activate and flap that way, but it just leaves you very open. And many people think that pushing harder from your stomach will fix this, but that's really like having a flat tire and thinking, maybe if I use a really big air pump, that'll fix the air loss. You see the flawed thinking? Other people say that improving lung capacity will help, but that's kind of like having a flat tire and thinking, well, maybe if I get a bigger flat tire, that'll fix it. And sure, the tire might last a couple seconds longer, but it's not fixing the root problem. So how do we fix a flat tire? We close the hole. And the same thing happens with false chord screaming. We have to close the hole in our throat. And here's how. I want you to experiment with squeezing your throat and your nose and squeeze everywhere to find the places where you can keep your false chords flapping and limit the air loss. And when you do that, you don't need to push hard. You don't have to take a huge big old breath. You can even be a smoker with a bad lung capacity and you'll retain all of your air. So here's a good test. Can you do a false chord scream and count to 7 on one breath? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If yes, then you're closing the hole well enough, and that means that you're doing it right. When you get really good, you can count all the way to 30 on one breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that's what it's like to not run out of air. So let's recap. So the whole problem, the whole reason why you're running out of air is because you're wide open. What's not the solution is bigger lungs or pushing harder from your stomach. The real solution, closing the hole in your throat. And you want to squeeze everywhere until you find the right closure. And a good test to see if you can do it right is if you can count to at least 7, or if you're doing really good, up to 30, all on one breath. Now, if you want to go deeper into unlocking your scream, I've got a free training that covers the anatomy and several approaches for fry and false chord screams. And at this point, I've had over 2,000 screaming students, and these are the fundamentals that help them out. And this training will also show you how to get free live feedback from me if you're interested in hearing more about coaching. Link is all in the description. Check that out. Peace.